Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today's video is going to be all about how to play with fun pops of color for summer. We're still keeping it not too crazy. So my star of the show is the Ultraviolet eyeshadow from Bobbi Brown. I absolutely love this eyeshadow. I've probably only worn it 2 other times, so I wanted to create a nice fun look for you guys that still consisted of super pretty dewy glowy skin for summer, but played with a little pop of color. If you aren't subscribed, I've been trying to make new videos every single week, so thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you guys, have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye. Okay guys, there is a new primer that I've absolutely been loving. It's the Effortless Breathable Primer from Sunday Riley. And I have the shade Medium. And I've been absolutely loving that as a primer. So I'm just gonna do like that much with my fingers and blending in to my skin. This has skincare benefits in it. It's lightly tinted. It feels like heaven, and what I love is that it does not have that super silicone-y, filmy feel, which I do not like in a primer. So I absolutely love the way this feels for my makeup. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Warm Honey Bobbi Brown Stick Foundation, and I'm just gonna stripe that all over my skin and then buff out with a foundation brush. Now we're going to follow with a little bit of concealer, and I'm going to use the Intensive Skin Serum Concealer in the shade Honey. This is an awesome concealer from Bobbi Brown because it's actually built and based with an anti-aging serum, so it helps to address dehydration. It helps to brighten up dark circles over time. I'm just taking the doe foot applicator and just blending some underneath my eye area. I could have used a color corrector as well, but I just didn't feel like I was really that dark today. So I'm just gonna blend that out with the Sephora Collection Pro Airbrush Concealer Brush. And I'm gonna kind of blend it up, down, and out to get a nice, radiant, lifted look. I usually press out my under eye concealer right after I apply it, or use a beauty blender to just take off anything that is too much or excess. And normally you would go to set the concealer under your eyes, but with this formula of concealer from Bobbi in the serum formula, you do not need a powder to set it, which is awesome. And it gives your skin like such a beautiful and like radiant glow. I also have a lot of skincare underneath, so for those of you wondering how I got my skin to already look so glowy and radiant and dewy before I even applied my makeup, go and watch right here, and that is my current skincare routine. So the next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of bronzer. The bronzer I'm going to use today is in a shade called Deep, and I'm just going to grab my bronzer brush, and with this bronzer it is really dense. So once you pick up your product, you kind of want to just tap it into the mirror so that you don't get too much in one spot. And since I'm kind of tan right now, I am pretty even, but my neck is still just a little bit lighter than my chest. So I'm also going to go in on the neck and kind of warm that up, even out that skin tone. And then for the face, you want to start up at the hairline, blend up and back into your hair. And then on your cheekbones, I'm just going to give a little bit of dimension by stippling right through that cheekbone area. You all know me, I am anti crazy contour, so let's just give a little dimension. Now that our skin is all bronzed and we have that dimension, I am going to use my highlight powder from Bobbi Brown in the Bronze Glow. You guys know, ride or die, I finally got a new one with her new packaging, and now I am using my old one that I still have a lot of in my travel bag. So again, we're just going to highlight the top of that cheekbone. Oh, it gets me every single time, you guys. That highlight is just magical. Bobbi Brown, thank you so much for this highlighter. It truly is the most gorgeous highlighter of all time. You can also highlight the very center of the face, a little bit down the nose, and on the top of the lip. Now we're gonna go in with a little bit of blush. I am gonna use a shade called Cranberry, which is gonna be kind of a deeper berry. And you guys, I'm a big fan of blush, so I'm putting a little bit extra on because my blush always absorbs throughout the day. Next up is brows. You guys have seen me do brows a million times. Let's move on. Okay, you guys, so for eyes today, I am gonna play with a little bit of color, and I'm gonna be using the Ultraviolet eyeshadow from Bobbi Brown to add a little pop of color to my eyes. So it looks really bright, and it is pretty bright, but I'm gonna use it in a little bit more of a subtle way. So I'm gonna start by kind of prepping my eyelid with the Dusty Mauve Cream Shadow Stick from Bobbi. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that onto my lower lid on both sides. And then we are just going to blend that color out and kind of up into the crease just a little bit. This has like a very soft lavender tone to it. If you are more on the fair side, this would be a really, really pretty eyeshadow by itself. But again, I do have a lot of color right now, so for me, it's kind of just like a nice tinted eyelid primer with just that tiny little bit of color. And then I am gonna go in with a little bit of the Bobbi Brown Bone eyeshadow underneath, let's see, I forgot my brush, underneath my brow bone, and I'm gonna be using her eye shader brush. And I'm gonna just be using this. I'm gonna pop that color up underneath the lashes to kind of create that smooth, light, lifted look on my lid. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a kind of transition shade through my crease. I'm gonna be using my favorite Camel eyeshadow with the Morphe M513 blending brush. So with that, I'm just gonna take that Camel and get a little bit of depth of color into the crease. If you are more on the fair side, I would recommend using Toast versus Camel, because Camel definitely has a good amount of pigment to it. Then taking the Bobbi Brown touch-up brush, I'm gonna take a little bit of that Camel matte eyeshadow and I'm gonna go up underneath my lash line. You guys, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that whatever I do to the top, I like to do to the bottom so that I really create a nice shape for the eye. Now that I have that transition shade up there, I am gonna go in with just the basic Bobbi Brown eyeshadow brush with that Ultraviolet. And we are just gonna press some of this color. I'm tapping it out because I don't want to have too much. I want it to be more of a wash of color. And we're just gonna lightly tap that shade onto the lower eyelid. This is such a pretty color. I love mixing purples with more warm shades, though you could also use like a tone, like a cement, a soft gray. but I really, really like the way that looks. I think it's super pretty. And again, I think it's a fun way to play with color without being too intense. I'm gonna put just a teeny bit more on that lower lid to get a nice pop. And then I'm also gonna use a little bit underneath, just like I did with the camel. Okay, so now that I've evened that out on both sides, I'm just gonna go back in with a tiny bit of the camel one more time just to add a little bit more warmth to the top of the lid and really make sure that that purple ultraviolet is mixed properly and blended so that it's just like a nice smooth transition. And this isn't makeup that I would do like every day. But this just is like a really fun way to incorporate color without being like, whoa, overkill. With this look, I'm not gonna do a liquid eyeliner. I had brought my black gel over here, but I think I'm actually just going to use a dark eyeshadow powder. This is a shade called Rich Caviar, and I'm gonna go in with, hold please, my smoky eyeliner brush from Bobbi. This one is a very thin, dense brush, really good for using matte eyeshadows. So for this look, I'm just gonna create like a really soft, smudgy line of liner. So I'm just gonna dip that brush into the matte shadow, tap off the excess so I don't have anything remaining on my brush. And then I'm just gonna go in at my lash line and really just kind of press this shadow into the lid and into my lash line. See, it's really subtle. I just wanted to create just a tiny bit more depth at my lash line than just mascara. And then I am going to take a little bit of this and just bring it right underneath my lash line. Okay, now we're gonna go in with mascara, and I'm gonna use the Smoky Eye Mascara from Bobbi and load it up. Don't be afraid. Minimum 2 to 3 coats. Okay, I'm done with my mascara, and I'm kind of wanting to bring in a little bit more of that ultraviolet because I rarely play with color. You guys know I'm like pretty neutral all the time. So I'm actually gonna take a tiny bit more with my touch-up brush, and I'm just gonna pull a little bit more color underneath the eye. A little bit more on the inner corner. Okay, so now for lips. I'm gonna keep it really neutral since the majority of the color is on my eyes, which, pretty. Okay, so now we're gonna go on with the Bobbi Brown, just basic brown lipstick. And as you can see, it's more of like a pinky brown, like a nice pinky nude. Fun fact, did you guys actually know Bobbi Brown started her entire brand with 10 colors of lipstick, and brown is in that original 10. Just a fun little fact of the day. Then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the brightening pink lip gloss. Just a very faint amount. And that completes our look for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I think it's really pretty and fun and different for me, especially because I rarely wear color. So I think that this was a super fun way to bring in a little bit of color with still keeping to being somewhat of a neutral look. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss out on anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below and let me know what you want to see next. Thanks. Bye guys.